They called me a manipulator. They called me a manipulator. And they told people not to open up to me because I manipulate them. And then they called me a narcissist who only cares about himself. How am I supposed to fucking care about you when you fucking labeled me as a manipulator and you won't fucking drop your fucking frame? You play your fucking stupid little games. You hold your frame up. You make it impossible for me to know you. You try to fucking get inside my head so that you'll be in some fucking kind of a power position or some bullshit. I wanted to know what you thought. I wanted to know you. I wanted to connect to you. I wanted to have a personal relationship with you. I didn't want to fucking spy on you and research you and do background checks and ask all your friends who you are. I wanted to spend time with you. I wanted to get to know you. I asked questions. I tried to get you to open up to me. That's not what narcissists do. That's not what narcissists do. The mere fact that I tried to get you to drop your frame and spend time with me and open up to me and cooperate and collaborate and work together so that we can accomplish things together, spend our time together having fun, or spend our time together making money, or getting shit done, trying to find overlapping interests so that we can find ways that we can enjoy our time together. I'm not a fucking narcissist. I tried to get you to drop your fucking walls. I tried to get you to fucking let me in. I tried to get you to open up to me, but you wouldn't. I'm not a fucking narcissist. I didn't try to manipulate anybody. Calling me a manipulator and a liar and a player, I'm not. You're the ones that want to play fucking stupid fucking games with people. Piece of shit. Yo. Scum. You're real fucking scum, all of you. All the lies and all the slander. All the people framing, holding your frame. You framed me. You framed me. You went around talking shit about me behind my back. You made absolute fucking certain that I would never be able to fucking defend myself. You framed me. You framed me. I just sit here and I'm like, I can't make you stop. People would like, literally, they'd rather let me beat the shit out of them than fucking tell me the truth. You framed me, you monsters. You fucking monsters. If I... I could just get one person to tell me the truth. And if I just had $10,000 to talk to a lawyer, I'd kill all of you. I'd rip you all to pieces. But I couldn't find one honest person in this whole fucking world. You all work together to frame me. I hate you. So the cops came to my apartment yesterday at 8 o'clock in the morning, knocked on my door. They identified themselves as the Toronto police. I walked over, I looked through the peephole, I saw the police officers there. I locked my door. I walked back into my apartment. I didn't speak to them. I didn't acknowledge that they were even there. I did not interact with them. I didn't refuse to speak to them. I just ignored them completely. Picked up my phone. I called my lawyer. I managed to get a hold of one of my lawyer's associates. I told my lawyer's associate that the police were outside my door and that they had identified themselves, but they had refused to indicate why they were there, and that they had tried to get me to open the door. And while I was talking to my lawyer's associate, the police officers started smashing on my door, trying to break my door down. My lawyer's associate heard them. I said, "Can you hear them? They're trying to break my door down." My lawyer's associate said, "Yes, I can hear them. Be cool. I'm going to contact your lawyer. I'm going to get a conference call going so the three of us can talk." I said, "Okay." He hung up on me. The lawyers could hear me, the police officers could hear me talking to my lawyer through the door. They walked down to the end of my hallway so that they could whisper amongst themselves without me hearing them, but they didn't leave. I could see that by looking through the peephole. I sat and I waited for my lawyer to call me back. My lawyer called me back, and there was a conference call between me, my lawyer's associate, and my lawyer. I was on the phone talking to them, explaining to them that the police officers were outside my apartment. They had tried to break my door down, that I had not interacted with them in any way. I didn't even acknowledge that they existed. Apparently they got somebody to give them a key because they unlocked my door after unsuccessfully trying to break it down, and they entered my apartment with I'm a 49-year-old man, and outside of whatever my daughter and my descendants might do with their lives and what I might do in the future, I know conclusively, without question, the moment when my actions and choices had the largest impact on the world. I can precisely tell you the moment, the most influence that I ever had over the fate of the human race, the species. I like the word species. Race is a word that's thrown around so casually. I know the moment that I had the greatest impact on the species, and I know the period of time when I had the greatest impact on the species. I was working for a company called Foreign Exchange Translations, which later merged with other companies. But if you look it up on the internet, and you understand that they were involved in medical translations, you'll find a Wikipedia article, and you'll be able to track the progression of mergers that obscure what I did. And I didn't meet with the CEO and CIO, CTO. I met with the CEO and CTO. But it wasn't the CEO and CTO of Pfizer. It was the CEO and CTO of Wyeth Corporation. Wyeth Corporation merged with Pfizer, and Pfizer was the smaller company. But after the merger, Wyeth Corporation rich and wealthy, I would have liked to have built gated communities, a place where families can live, married couples with children. You know, when I was doing that work for Pfizer, providing the technology to administer the translations of all of their documentation so that they can distribute medicine internationally. The COO, Chief Operations Officer of the company, was a woman, and I answered directly to her. Billions of people. She answered directly to the president of the company, the guy who was there in the meeting with me that I talked about in one of my previous videos, where I stripped down to my boxer shorts and paced around my living room drinking a beer with an unlit joint in my hand as a security blanket while I had them on speakerphone, because I wanted to make myself as comfortable as possible so I wouldn't choke. I answered directly to this woman. She was the Chief Operations Officer. She was an extremely powerful woman. But she was not a feminist. She was a married woman. She had children. She loved her husband, loved her children, and she cared about the work. She was intelligent and competent and did a good job. She was a unique woman, and she did not care about the plight of women. She cared about the work. She did not care about balancing the number of men and women in the company. She didn't care if you were a man or a woman. She would hire a woman or a man or whatever, because what's important is getting the job done. We're not here to showboat and put on a fucking display for the public. We don't provide services to the public here. We don't get brownie points from the public by showing that we have diversity hires in our company. We don't sell to the public. We sell to large multinational drug companies and medical equipment manufacturers. And they don't give a fuck about diversity. They care about results. I respected her. She was a powerful, intelligent, competent woman. She was a wife, she was a mother, and she helped me bring medicine to billions of people. And she was not a feminist. She wasn't a feminist. She cared about the work. I say that I cannot be friends with anyone who voted for Justin Trudeau during his first election run. I cannot be friends with anyone who voted for Trudeau before during his first run, when he was talking about how the most important thing was to have an equal number of men and women in his cabinet. That's just ridiculous. The contempt for the role, the contempt for the job It shows contempt for the job of running the country. It's so infantile, so ridiculously bigoted. I don't care about whether or not you're the fucking most qualified person to run the country. I just want to show the world that now it's time to see a woman in power, blah, blah, blah. You don't care about whether or not the job is in the hands of the most competent person, man or woman. You just want to see a woman run things. You don't care about, you don't respect the job. You don't think it's hard. You don't think it's important. You don't think, well, if she's less competent and qualified, well, that's not the most important thing. It is the most important thing. And the fact that you don't think it's the most important thing just shows how infantile and childish and naive and stupid and ridiculous and deserving of contempt you are. Dangerous. Last time my daughter came to visit me, there was a morning where she had to go hungry. She didn't get to have any breakfast. There was a transit strike going on. The entire city of Halifax was completely shut down. There were no buses, no public transportation. People couldn't get to work. People couldn't get to school. People couldn't get to university. Businesses shut down. Schools shut down. The city was like it was January or February. It was cold. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it was cold. And there was a transit strike. And I had to work from home. I didn't have much food in the house. I had to go and get some food. I had to go to the store. And my daughter slept in until, I don't know, 10 o'clock. And I was sitting, like she would sleep in her bed in her bedroom because she felt lonely. It was a new house and she felt lonely and she wanted to sleep in the bed with me. And I was single. My common law wife and I had been broken up. So I said, that's okay. Throw on some sweatpants and a t-shirt and some queen size bed. It's not like I'm spooning with my kid, right? But she didn't want to be alone. So I wake up and I'm lying in bed and I'm doing on the computer. And my daughter wakes up and she's hungry. And I don't have anything. And I mean, it's not like apparently this made a huge impact on her. That incident where she didn't get to have any breakfast one day. And it was only one day. It wasn't a pattern of behavior. It was. There are people out there that had this idea in their head for some fucking reason that I wanted a strong woman, that I would respect a woman who was strong enough to stand up to me. That if they stood up to me, I would respect them for it. Which is completely false. It's completely false. But there's a really good comedy sketch. Smart versus clever. It really does sort of hit the fucking nail on the head.
Then she comes back with, oh, really? Everything.
I had a lot of guys give me nods, people giving me free coffee, people doing little things to be nice to me and to show respect for me and help me out in little ways as I move through the community. I just want to reiterate that I fucking hate all of you. But the only reason this channel exists is because I'm in misery and pain and lonely and poor. And I'm completely fucking isolated, completely fucking emasculated. Nobody If I was with my woman, my petite, happy, cheerful little woman that will give me blowjobs and make me sandwiches and has high energy and someone that makes me feel happy and makes me smile at their energy when I'm with them. Someone fun. If I had that, I wouldn't talk to any of you. I wouldn't post videos on the internet. You'd see me just walking down the street with a smile on my face, but I wouldn't have any desire to interact with you. I don't have any desire to communicate to you. I don't have any desire. I'm just miserable and depressed and lonely. This all comes from a place of hate. All these videos, they all come from hate. That if I was a happy person, if I had a wife, someone that I find sexy and fun and high energy that makes me feel happy to be alive, if I had a soft body in my bed, someone to have breakfast and supper with, someone cute and cheerful and fun and funny and stylish and energetic and the kind of person that I love, the kind of person that I need, someone that can, with high energy, someone that's happy and cheerful and always has optimism and the glass is half full and anything is possible, someone fun. If I had that, this channel wouldn't exist. I wouldn't have anything to say. I'd just be happy. So I just want you to know that we don't have a personal connection. You people out there in the internet, I don't have a personal connection to you. I don't want my life to be exclusively consist of personal connections. I don't to know anything. Back when I was a successful IT guy looking for a wife, I used to talk about how I wanted a woman to spend my money for me. The thing is that I meant it. I really meant that. I remember what it was like after I left my second common law wife, before I met my third common law wife. I went through a phase where I was just sleeping around like crazy. My daughter would be with me for a week and she had my undivided attention. And then the next week I'm a single guy and I'm not ready to have a committed relationship, but I want to get laid, so I'm out having fun. And then I got tired of that. I just didn't want to do it anymore. I stopped. And I went through this phase where at that point I'd see my daughter every second weekend and every Thursday evening. And when she wasn't with me, I worked. I had a few friends. If my friends contacted me and said that they wanted to do something with me, then I'd reschedule things and shuffle things around and go hang out with them. And I'd have friends come to visit me. But the reality is that all I did was work. I was in a position where I could do as many hours as I wanted. I was developing the software that allows the decentralized team of translators with knowledge of the medical domain to provide translation services to drug companies like Pfizer, including Pfizer. And if I wanted to work 60 hours a week, I could just work 60 hours a week. And they trusted me. I'd send them an invoice. They'd pay me by PayPal. No questions asked. I'd have a meeting once a week to discuss what was going on. Other than that, I'd communicate with email if I needed to. And I was just building out technology. I actually met with the CEO and CTO of Pfizer, CEO and CIO of Pfizer in a conference call. And the reality of that life is that when you go shopping, when you spend money, when you buy things, your attitude is, I need this. I'm going to run over, I'm going to grab the first thing I see, and I'm going to go back, and I'm going to get back to work. I'd always eat in restaurants because it felt, for one thing, I didn't want to do grocery shopping by myself. I didn't like going into crowds. I was never really the kind of person that was comfortable with crowds. Didn't like it. Busy shopping malls always bothered me. I felt on edge when I was in them. Not like I couldn't go into them and get shit done, but I felt on edge and uncomfortable. I'm awesome. She'd look at what's seasonal, what's available, what's cheap, and she'd find these things and find ways to make our. I had a really good life when I was with Sharon in the beginning. We were really good for each other. We were really good to each other. My family liked her. Her family liked me. And they liked my daughter. We had a really great relationship. And I was really successful. And truth be told, it was when my daughter's mother decided that she wanted to leave Nova Scotia and she wanted to take my daughter with her. And she had free legal representation because she ticked all of the boxes for free everything. She's a woman, single mother, immigrant, brown, yada, yada, yada. Pursuing higher education. So she got all the free legal advice that she needed. And she was careful and scheming and planned things out carefully. And I had to pay $200 an hour for my lawyer. And it put tremendous pressure on me and on Sharon. Tremendous financial pressure. I ended up going bankrupt. I couldn't pay my taxes. I had been working as a consultant. I had a bunch of money that I had been paid gross. And I had the money for the tax man set aside. And I didn't expect to be dragged into this legal battle. And she wanted to leave to go to Vancouver. And I fought her in court. I gave a ton of money and I won. And then she appealed and simultaneously started a second court case to move to Toronto instead. So now instead of it being over and I'm victorious, now I've got 2 court cases instead of 1. And I took the money that I was supposed to pay bankruptcy because we were going to pay for it, deliver that, living alone ever since I split up. I needed that to be strong again. I'm a violent misogynist. I don't even want to have sex with him anymore. I don't even want to have sex with him. I don't find him attractive anymore. I just want to beat the shit out of them. I don't. Moi, how's that going? I don't. They used to feed me energy. They made me feel attractive, interesting. They trusted me, they were open with me, they expressed themselves to me, they were happy and fun and bouncy and bubbly and cute and sexual. They let me lead. I was powerful. I had money, style, control. I knew what was going on around me. I was in control of my social environment. I was aware of the realities of the social situation I was in. And I loved women. But I don't anymore. I just hate them. I really am, genuinely. I really am a violent misogynist. I just want to hurt them. I just want to beat the shit out of them. I just want to knock them to the ground and kick them and stomp them. All the lies. Power games and respect and all this shit. I just want to hurt them. I just want to hurt them. I really want to go to Texas and buy a book. I never thought that I would end up like this. This is how it is. I've been slandered so many times in so many ways. So many things that they accused me of. I worked really hard to be a decent man. Kind and gentle with women, even-keeled and laid back and chill, until it was time to feel successful, alternative. My father hated me. My father attacked me with a deadly weapon. My father belongs in prison. It was a completely unprovoked attack. I went there to get my mail. I tried to get my father to be honest with me. He was trying to hold his frame, trying to make sure that he wouldn't reveal any information to me that might help me in any way. And the stress caused him to snap. And he ran to his shed, and he picked up a shovel, and he fucking charged me. My father committed assault with a deadly weapon. Brain during his interaction with me.
Dad, have you seen the boat keys? Nope.
Should have gone to Specsavers. Book an eye test today.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Anh là cái cơ như này em mà là yêu người anh được về nhẹ em yêu bị em không như cái gì cơ anh là cái cơ như này em mà là yêu người anh được về nhẹ